Hey, good morning, YouTube. I just wanted to take a few minutes of your time and talk about quarantining sick fish and new fish. I know there's a lot of videos out there that you can watch, but I have found like when you're in a situation where you need to quarantine your fish, and you start scrambling the internet and you're looking to find answers because you just bought this fish, or you spent a lot of money on this fish, or you love this fish and you don't want it to die, so you start scrambling the internet. And if you're anything like me, you're trying to find quick answers. A lot of times those quick answers aren't out there. I wanted to make kind of an ease of use, simple video, something that you can reference. I've done a lot of research on this. I've talked to a lot of people. I even talked to Corey over at Aquarium Co-op to, confirm, hey, what works, what is good, what's safe to work together, what's easy to get. When you're talking about medicating fish, it can get very expensive. Meds aren't cheap. What I do, when I think is the best thing to do, as in association with the size of your fish, is I like a 10-gallon tank. Yeah, most of your medication always treats up to 10 gallons of water. Same with our products, whether you're using your Seachem, your Fritz, your water conditioner. Dose this for every 10 gallons of water. Most everything in this hobby is done within 10 gallons of water. So if you have a 10-gallon tank, when you're using meds, you know that you're only going to use one packet. So the box that you get is going to go a lot further. So look, API General Cure comes with 10 packets. How you dose this is one packet per 10 gallons of water. So you tear this off, take your scissors, you pour one packet in, you're good to go. If you notice that your fish is getting sick, or there's something wrong, I've made this mistake in the past where, he's acting a little funny, he's sitting in the back of the tank. I don't think it's cause to pull him out and put him in quarantine and put him through that stress, so I let him go. Well, that has bit me in the ass more than once. So anytime you're looking at your fish and you think they're acting the least bit strange or something's off, 9 times out of 10 there's something going on. First of all, check your water. In my experience, hold on one second. In my experience, I have never liked the test strips. I have proven this wrong with my local fish stores versus the API Master Liquid Test Kit. The Liquid Test Kit is a lot more accurate than these or anything like it. I have tested these against the Liquid Master Test Kit, and these always are off. I had a fish store not give me money back for a fish that died because this told them that the water was fine. I tested my water and with the API Liquid Master Test Kit, took pictures of it, took it in, and I was able to prove them wrong. I wish all these PetSmarts and Petcos and all these little would get away from these. The only strips that I have found to be that's accurate, right in line with the API Liquid Master Test Kit, is Aquarium Co-op's multi-test strips. These are the only test strips I have found to be as accurate and read the same readings as my API Liquid Master Test Kit. And I love that because I like the test strips. It makes testing your tanks a lot quicker and easier, especially when you have multiple. I'm sitting in the center of 9 tanks right now as I'm talking to you. This saves a lot of time, and I'm a lot more comfortable using it knowing it's accurate. You have to get the ammonia version in order to test ammonia. They cannot put the ammonia test strip on these strips because it will not give you an accurate ammonia reading. It just can't be done. Corey has tried that. He put a video out on that. He wishes he could have done it, but he couldn't. So I run these along with my liquid test kit. I never have an issue. My water's good. I've had nothing but trouble with these. These are no good. So after you test your water, and your water quality is good, that's not the source of why you got a sick fish or something's going on. If you do see something wrong with your fish early on, the sooner you catch it, the better. So, the fish is in the corner, he's not eating, he's hiding a lot. Uh, you know, he's tilted. You're better off either putting some salt in the tank first, treat that tank with salt, aquarium salt, per the instructions, which is a tablespoon for 5 gallons of water. And I always follow that rule and it's helped me. If you have worst cases, using salt, salt is like the first thing you want to do. Before you jump into meds, before you do all that, go ahead and just treat your display tank with salt. That way you don't have to stress the fish out by pulling them out, put them in quarantine, and then if he does have something bad that's contagious, you're going to end up treating that big display tank anyways, which gets even more expensive. I forget how much these cost, but they're upwards of $30 or $40 for a box of 10 of these now. Like this 125 behind me, I don't want to treat 125 gallons of water with this. You're going to get hundreds and hundreds of dollars into doing this. The best thing I have found, when I find these fish acting weird right off, something strange, what I do is I pull them out and I put them in my 10-gallon quarantine tank, and I go ahead and I hit him with salt, and I see if he gets better. If he's not improving, then I go ahead and I do the med trio of API General Cure, 1 packet for 10 gallons of water, 1 packet of methoricin. I said that wrong, don't make fun of me. And if you need it, ICX. You can use all 3 of these medications together safely. I have confirmed that with Corey Aquarium Co-op. I don't do anything unless I research it thoroughly. I've talked to Corey at Aquarium Co-op through email and through his live streams on this subject. The other good med trio, which is the current one that they use, and they just do it because of cost, and he doesn't like working with API. I guess they're a hard company to work with. But that med trio is Fritz Paracleanse and I don't know why the name's escaping me. Paracleanse, and you can use ICX and Maricin. So Fritz Paracleanse, ICX, and Maricin are another 3 med trio that can be used together. In both the API version and the Fritz version, you use all 3 of these together. It's going to cover all fungal and bacterial infections inside and outside the body. You're covering any and everything. When I bring new fish home, the first thing I do is I go into my quarantine tank. It's set up, it's ready to go. And I hit them. I don't mess with the salt. A lot of people just like to do salt, and that's fine. Salt works. It's great. But I like to make sure that I'm not going to spread any fungal disease or fungal or of any sort to any of my fish in the display tank. So I hit them with the trio. I like API just because I can get this quicker. There's only one store that I can get the Fritz stuff and drive to, and that's like an hour away. This stuff here, I can go to Petco, PetSmart, they all have it, it's readily available, it's easy to get, and that's why I use it. And I confirmed with Corey that the API version is just as good as the Fritz version, and they're all going to get you there. So I put them in there, I hit them, and just follow the instructions on the back of the boxes. You dose them, you wait 48 hours, you dose again, wait another 48 hours, and then you do a 20% water change. After that's done, I watch them. I monitor them, make sure they're doing okay. But I let them sit in there for anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. I know that you're excited to add your new fish to your tank, but you're better off making sure they're clean and free when you put them in your display tanks, and you're not going to spread this stuff to your other fish. It's always best to just be safe up front and be patient, which is hard for me because I'm a very impatient person. But when it comes to this subject, I take my time with this, and I make sure the fish are safe. And when I first started fish keeping, I had issues all the time like this. I used to, even when I found out about quarantining, I started quarantining fish, but I was being impatient with that, and I was still having issues. But since I've done my research, I slowed down, I've talked to people, and experienced this stuff for myself, I haven't had an issue, and all my fish are healthy, and I'm sitting in here 9 tanks right Um, Another good thing to have on hand is Seachem Stress Guard. That acts like an antiseptic, so any of the fish that might get hurt or beat up, you keep them boonas, like I got in a 75-gallon tank. These Oscars behind me, they're always hurting themselves because they run into stuff or give you attitude, or they get spooked at night and they jet off and they run into something. And I'll get up in the morning and see a mark on his, like, it's just like a little flat. It's just like cosmetics. Like he rubbed his skin or scales off a little bit, but what the Seachem Stress Guard does, it goes in there and it goes into those wounds and it binds to it and it helps keep it clean so it doesn't get infection. So I like to keep Seachem Stress Guard on hand. If you do this stuff and you take your time and you do it right and you do your research beforehand, before you have an issue, and that's what I do. I every morning I get my coffee. I like to sit down and I like to research videos and so I can have as much information as I need, so when I need it, I can take care of what I got to take care of without any issues. So yeah, those 3 med trios are good. The Fritz 3 med trios are good. It's a when you mix them all together, you're getting everything inside and out. All my fish are happy, healthy, along with I do my water changes every 2 weeks. I used to have to do water changes every week because I had high nitrates. I did a couple things to take care of that to make the hobby fun. Anything I can do to make the hobby keep making it enjoyable and fun, I do. After a while, it's not fun to have to come home and do 9 tanks, do a water change and gravel vacs and clean your sand every week. I used to like doing that every week, but it got old because I have other things to take care of as well. Work, family, the house, the yard. What I did is I reduced my feeding to once a day. I might give them a snack at night as well. And then every 2 weeks, I do a big water change, 75%, and fill it back up. And I've added pothos in all my plants. And since I've done these 3 things, if I wanted to, I could get away with doing a water change probably once a month, because I tested my water yesterday before I did my water changes, and they were all fine. I think 40 ppm is where you want to, think about. 40 ppm nitrates is where you want to start thinking about doing a water change. You're starting to get up there a little high. So, but I tested my water yesterday and I was fine. I didn't have those nitrates, and if I wanted to, I could go a month, but I don't like doing that. Fish love a fresh water change, and it's good for everything. So I don't like to go anything past other than more than every 2 week water change. The fish are happier that way. They enjoy it. I mean, I always tell people when they ask, hey, what size fish can I put in this tank? You think I can put a goldfish in a 29-gallon tank? Yeah, sure you can. But let me ask you this: do you like living in your bathroom? Go to your bathroom for 24 hours and don't come out of there, and that's where you have to stay. Fish can't jump out of these boxes and take a walk. The smaller the tank you have, the more maintenance you have. Over here, I have 2 20-gallon longs side by side. Okay. This is just like in here. I have some neon tetras, and I have some smaller fish like some barbs and things like that. And over here is a beta tank, and there's cherry shrimp in there. Okay. I tested those tanks; they were fine, and that was 2 weeks. But the only reason why is because, like I said, I only feed once a day. Maybe give them a little snack. Sorry about this. All my fish are happy and healthy and going strong, and I hope it stays that way. I don't care who you are. You can always wind up with an issue, no matter how good you keep your tanks. Things just happen. You just have to be prepared for that. And if I never used to keep a quarantine tank, and I was just an extra step I don't want to do. Well, if I would have done that years ago, I wouldn't have lost as many fish as I did when I was first learning about this hobby. Well, that was just a video I wanted to put out on quarantine and taking care of fish. If anybody has any questions, go ahead, please ask me. I'll I'll put it down in the, I'll answer you on YouTube in the comments section. So I just redid this tank. I decided to put gravel in this one because I missed gravel. It looks good. All my tanks have sand in it now. I wanted that little bit of gravel look. I think it looks really nice. I got these rocks, these flat rocks I stacked up and kind of put them in there for something different. I like to change the aquascape around a little bit. It's good for the fish. It gives them something new to look around and not get them bored, something new to discover. When it comes to aquascaping, I used to try to make the tanks look so nice and real nice, but as time went on, I realized, man, I use my tanks. I work on my tanks. Unless I'm going to get a little tank like a 20-gallon long or smaller and just for aquascaping only, then I'll take the time and really make it look nice. But, you know, I use my tanks every day. And every once in a while you have to move these rocks out of the way and get them out so you can clean under it, because you got uneaten food, you've got detritus under there. It has to be cleaned out or you're going to, you know, spike your ammonia and foul the tank water. I mean, so me, I just, you know, I don't just throw stuff in there. I do little things, but I'm not one for aquascaping a tank to look really pretty, you know. Just like you buy a brand new car, you know, yeah, you're gonna keep it clean and wash it every weekend and for a little bit, but after a while it becomes a tool to get you through life, get you to get to work so you can make your money and take care of your family and support your hobbies. My cherry shrimp, got a lot of those. I started with 4. I think I'm up to over 20. Floating water sprite, they love water sprite. There's one in there running around. Water sprite is a great plant. It's easy to keep, grows crazy. This plant, this tank grows my water sprite big time, and when it gets too full and dense, I throw it over here because these blue dwarf gouramis love the water sprite too. All fish like going through there. So yeah, blood parrots are looking good. This tank looks milky because I got this tank for free, and there's a lot of calcium, hard water stains. It's like etched into the glass. I tried every trick in the book to get it out. It wasn't happening, but the tank was free. If I come across another free 75 that has clear glass, then I'll replace it, but these guys don't mind it. I love how all this algae has built up on here, on this dragonstone. I usually hate when it gets built up like that on the plants, but I'm going to keep that. It looks really nice, natural. Everybody had their breakfast already. Here's my 75-gallon Boona tank. It's looking sweet. This tank here, there's hardly anything that builds up on the sand. These guys eat everything. I might have to scrape some algae off the glass, but then I just do the water change. I'll show you how I do my water changes in another video. I've really made that process a lot more efficient and quick. I have 9 tanks, but if I really come at it, I can come in here on a Saturday or a Sunday, which is when I usually do my water changes, and I can get all these tanks done within 2 hours if I'm not bothered or interrupted or not stopped. Tiger barbs are looking sweet. Ben Ochart, you got to get you some of these tiger barbs, bud. Love a school of tiger barbs. They're healthy, they're getting big, doing great. I did have a couple angelfish. I have my angelfish in here, and they're vertical egg layers, and they did lay eggs on this back wall, and I was so excited because I do want to put at least 2 or 3 more angelfish in this tank. But my big pleco ate all the dang eggs. Everybody in this tank's doing good. I got plenty of room for more fish, but 1 or 2 in here. I'll probably do angelfish. I really enjoy them. Cleaned off all my glass this weekend. We got crudted up food, getting crusted up on there. Cleaned all that off. I just recently swapped my lights. This Marineland light puts out a lot, and it's what caused all the algae in that tank. It was bad. So I swapped lights, and I'll monitor that and make sure. And I put it on a timer. It's all, you can program it to where it's not on so long, and Yeah, that Marine Land light is awesome, but that thing will put some algae in your tank if you have it on too long. You gotta, like, 6 hours a day would be my suggestion if you have that light, or you're gonna have crazy algae. It's just too strong. In my opinion, is too strong. That's why I have found I love these Fluval Aqua Sky lights. They're awesome. They're so programmable. You can adjust intensity on them all from an app. I got one on there and one on there. So out of all the lights I've had over the years, and I've had Phoenix, I've had Aqueon, Marine Land. My favorite lights so far to date are these Aqua Skies from Fluval. They are awesome. I love the options and what you can do with these tanks, or with those lights. Oscars are doing great. I have noticed that, you see how he's puffing his gills out? He's been doing that a lot more lately. If anybody knows if that's right there, you see that mark right there? That's a mark where he hurt himself. He takes off and runs into stuff by accident. And he loves to just pop my heaters off the wall. He loves it. I gotta get him something to play with. That heater ain't a good toy. But if anybody knows why that, I'm just assuming that when they puff their gills out like that, but I just noticed that they've been doing it a lot more lately, both of them, more so Milo. If anybody knows why Oscars do that, please leave in the comments and let me know, if that's happening more often. Is that a problem? Is that something I need to look out for? I'd appreciate it. Well, that's it for this video. Appreciate you taking the time to watch it and hang out with me for a little bit on this Sunday. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. This YouTube thing is new to me. I've got some videos out there, but hey, I'd love to progress in the hobby and progress in making YouTube videos and sharing with what I've learned and meet new friends. So let me know. I don't think I've ever received a comment in any of my videos. So that'd be badass. Have a good Sunday.